Tipperary full back line, alongside the impressive Philip Maher. On the wings, Paul Ormond to Damon Corcoran, while at centre field there's a recall for Brian O'Mara as partner for John Carroll. The main talking point, we've been saying, the omission of John Lahey. Declan Ryan comes back into the 40 with Paul Shelley now being flanked by Paddy O'Brien and Jerry Maguire. Mr. Athenry very much confirmed as their first choice goalkeeper. Brian Feeney is just back from his honeymoon and resumes at number 3. Cathal Moore continues to be most impressive at centre half, while the midfield consists of Alan Kearns and Rory Gantley. Younger brother Mark Kearns is at centre half forward. Ollie Canning is at top of the right, and Galway and crew include the brave and tenacious Joe Rabbit in their half forward line. As we've been hearing, no Kevin Broderick, he's out with a calf injury, so David Tierney, number 24, is drafted in. The wind is blowing across the field here in Limerick, and there is Pat O'Connor, All-Ireland final referee from last year. So we're ready for the start of the 71st ever National Hurling League final, sponsored now of course by Church and General. They've been sponsoring it since 1994, and it's going to be Michael Crimmins who will puck this ball out. Now, will he target Joe Rabbit straight away? Rabbit at right half forward. Sent straight down through the centre. David Kennedy's in there. Rabbit's chasing around the place as well. Alan Kearns coming in. Some sterling defensive work there by Philip Maher, the Tipperary fullback. Lots and lots of pressure. Moore whipping it back in. Here's Michael Ryan, experienced campaigner, one of the stars when they won the All-Ireland in '91. Upwards, Paul Shelley. Bit of pressure here on Brian Feeney. Facing into his own end line. Coming to his assistance, Liam Hudgens. Towards Rabbit. Wins that duel there with Eamon Corcoran. Belted across diagonally. Fergal Healy. Nice movement, good shot, great score. First point of the day scored by Fergal Healy. And of course it all came from that ball won by Joe Rabbit against Eamon Corcoran, and Galway take the lead. Well, he really scampered away here from the would-be challengers. Nobody able to get near him, and he did really well. Sideline ball here to be taken by Eamon Corcoran. Corcoran twice voted player of the tournament in Fitzgibbon Cup competitions the last couple of years. In towards Jerry Maguire. Trying to make some room for himself. In behind Brian O'Mara. Tip lose it. Galway get it away through Rory Gantley. There's Ollie Fahy. Ollie Canning in there as well to put in a challenge, and once again it's a Tipperary fullback Philip Maher who stands firm. Tip have the free. Michael Ryan. Gantley touching it down there. That's Finbar Gantley. Their father, of course, the Gantleys, Finbar Senior, played in the All-Ireland 79. He was there again in 80 and 81. That's out by David Kennedy. Injury here to Jerry Maguire from Latin Cullen, which of course is Nicky English's home club. Well, Jerry Maguire here, a razor sharp corner forward, given a chance, and there's his clubman, the manager of the side, of course, Nicky English, along with Ken Hogan and Jack Bergen. Rory Gantley, huge one down towards Ollie Canning. Lovely balance and control. Trying to set something up possibly for Fergal Healy. It runs away, however. Ormond's over there. Next it's Liam Sheedy. Not a very lengthy clearance. John Carroll's in there for Tipperary. Tommy Dunn unable to get it up onto his stick. Finbar Gantley. Joe Rabbit walloping on that one there. David Kennedy, however, getting the ball away. Not terribly effectively. It's Cathal Moore instead, sending it back in there towards his inside forward line. Runs all the way through to Brendan Commons. Vinnie Marr over there defending for Galway, and it went off the stick of the Tipperary quarter forward, who is Paddy O'Brien. Cut in towards the centre half forward. Here's Paul Ormond in the throes of examinations at UCD right now. Tommy Dunn up towards Paul Shelley. Coming in on it here is Paddy O'Brien. And O'Brien puts it over the bar and gets the equaliser. Paddy O'Brien doing really well. That's 4 goals now and 7 points, and all that he has scored in this year's National League campaign. Teams level. This is where he was really sharp, came onto it very effectively, and a nice point. Bounces away there of Eamon Corcoran. Whipped forward there by John Carroll. Rory Gantley. Great interception by Eamon Corcoran. Really good play. Vinnie Marr breaking it down, onto it himself quickly. David Kennedy here. That's a lovely catch. Back into the inside forward line once again, and another fine catch, this time from Liam Hodgins, the cornerback for Galway. Vinnie Marr. Cross towards the far side towards David Tierney. He hasn't really been able to get into the action so far. Sideline ball will be taken by Paul Ormond. Matty Murphy on the near side of the field. Beyond Paul Hardiman and Feeney. Vinnie Marr going back there. Liam Sheedy put under pressure here. Once again it's Fergal Healy coming through. Healy whipping it over the bar. Great point. He's got 2. Galway have the lead once again. Well, he's looking a handful already for Liam Sheedy. Declan Ryan had an opportunity. Couldn't make the most of it, however. Well, he's been receiving attention of late for an arthritic toe. It's the same kind of injury that put paid to rugby player Simon Gagan's career. Let's hope that we see an awful lot more of Declan Ryan. We're seeing a lot of Joe Rabbit right now. Across towards Tierney. Here's his chance, but he's put it wide. Good distribution from Joe Rabbit. Not a good finish by David Tierney, but he's a young player making his first start in a league match for Galway. Cathal Moore over there, put under some pressure by Paddy O'Brien. O'Mara's over there, still coming forward. Finbar Gantley here, watching Paul Hardyman from Athenry, won an All-Ireland medal once again, of course, on St. Patrick's Day. Here's Mark Kerins. Kerins fouled. It's going to be a free for Galway. David Kennedy here, who's both a hurler and footballer for Tipperary. Popular young teacher in Carysford National School in Dublin. And this is the player he's marking this afternoon, 21-year-old Mark Kerins. Whipped by Rory Gantley and put straight between the posts. His first pointed free. Rory Gantley certainly having a very, very fine season. Final year student here at UL. Tommy Dunn, such a star last year. What an all-star. Michael Crimmins getting it back there. Skips down into the inside forward line towards Ollie Canning. Here comes Mark Kerins. Ollie Fahy put under pressure. And the ball has carried out over the sideline. Still early stages, as you can see, of the Church and General National Hurling League, coming to you live from Limerick this afternoon. Well, they're bringing up Rory Gantley to hit this one in towards Ollie Fahy. Well, he rather wasted the opportunity. What do you make of the opening so far, Liam?
Well, you notice that the Galway inside forwards are trying to create lots of space for themselves, but the game hasn't really caught fire, as you can see. But Fergal Healy is having an interesting time there. He's top scorer in Ireland so far this year, and he's proving why he is now.
Here comes further pressure on the Galway backline. If they can manage to get that ball through, they do so now with Mark O'Leary, and that's gone over the bar. O'Leary's first point of the afternoon. So just a point between the teams. Galway now trying to win their own puck out here. Right down through the centre. Rabbit anticipating, coming in field. But his marker was there as well. That's Eamon Corcoran. And passing it outside to Paul Ormond. Shelley's chasing after this one. Still Shelley, and Shelley has scored. "11 minutes of the first half gone. Lots of joy and jubilation for Tipperary fans. Paul Shelley was coming in after this, but really Brian Feeney was all over the place and couldn't get an effective stick on it to get it away from this ace predator. So it's Tipperary 1-2, that's 5 points, Galway 3. Bit of a push there by Vinnie Marr, trying to close down the space afforded to Paddy O'Brien. It's going to be a free to tip on the 45-metre line, and inevitably it's Tommy Dunn, their captain, who will take it. First free of the match for them. He's hit it well. So a good little spell for Tipperary now, a goal and a point in the last minute or so, and they've got a 1-goal lead. This time the puck out, aimed down towards Joe Rabbit. Tipperary are anticipating. That's John Carroll. Jerry Maguire trying to bulldoze his way forward here. He's lost his stick, trying to do some magic. Declan Ryan protests, and the linesman on this near side says no need to protest, it's got to be a tip ball anyway. Tipperary, of course, hoping to win this title and win it for the 18th time in all, but they've got a big one in 2 weeks' time, the championship clash with Waterford at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. That's a huge one. Comes back out here towards Finbar Gantley, challenged by Maguire. Outside towards Alan Kearns. Straight down into the inside forward line. Ollie Fahy. shortens the grip on the stick and puts it over the bar for his first point of the match. That's a good response by Galway, needing to get back and get a score of their own. Brendan Cummins trying to pick out his corner forward, Paddy O'Brien. Back towards Brian O'Mara. Wasted possession. Paul Hardiman. Down towards the two Ollies. Difficult here for Mark Kearns to just retain possession, but he did enough. That's his first point. So now Galway have come back in the last couple of minutes with a couple of points, and they narrow it, as you can see, to just a point margin. Declan Ryan, back he goes at the centre forward spot. Maguire, Cathal Moore, tower of strength, he was fouled. Well, Moore, of course, has played some of his hurling at centre forward as well. In fact, you'll remember him, Liam, I think from the 1996 season. He played centre forward against you that year.
Yes, he did, and played very well too, and got some great scores. I think he's a very important man for Galway, and I think it's very important that he beds down that centre-back position if they're going to do well in either the league or the championship.
Crimmins with the free. In beyond Mark Kearns this time. Sheedy getting the clearance away. Here comes Paul Hardiman. Very effective player at left half back, but this time, even as I say it, tip, steal it back. Tommy Dunn with the shot, way out. Real hit and hope on that. Bit of a wasted opportunity. Well, it's too wide so far for Tipperary. Down towards Rabbit once again, there with Mark Kearns. Kearns got the stick to it, it goes out over the sideline. It'll be a Tipperary sideline ball in the sunshine at Limerick.
Interestingly enough, on all the puckouts, John Carroll is moving back to pick up Joe Rabbit, so they've two men on him on the puckout. It's obviously their policy to kind of counteract the high catching.
Plenty of protests. Tommy Dunn argues the point. Galway argue it as well. Finbar Gantley down there, but it's going to be a sideline ball against Matty Murphy's team. Matty Murphy, of course, has Jarlath Cloonan and Michael Fogarty on the bench with him this afternoon, sharing the responsibility. Corcoran. Huge run up towards Paddy O'Brien. Stolen away by Paul Hardiman. Lovely, tidy hurling. A booming clearance way downfield. Ollie Fahey shouldered, but into the back by Liam Sheedy. Sheedy is protesting that he got his shoulder in, yes, but the target, the referee says, was not right onto the other shoulder. Has to be shoulder to shoulder. So, Rory Gantley, the free taker, 20 metres out. And a chance here to tie up the match. He does precisely that. A second point of free, and the teams are level once again. Brendan Cummins has been getting a lot of length into his puckouts. This one dropping a little bit short. John Carroll in there, battling. Had been forming an alliance at midfield with Andy Maloney, and we're glad to know that Andy has recovered from that rather nasty eye injury, and hopefully will be back by the time of the championship. So Finbar Gantley about to hit this one, just getting a nice little piece of grass for himself. Down towards Mark Kearns. Ollie Canning. And Canning is fouled by Michael Ryan, who protests that they were falling over one another. Tip will see it as rather a cheap foul, as it were. It gives Galway the chance to go back into the lead, following the concession of that goal after 11 minutes to Paul Shelley. Rory Gantley. Just over 45 metres out. That's a beauty. He's got 3 points now from frees. And Galway lead by 7 points to 1-3. Well, the angle made that free a bit more difficult and also made it a little bit longer than the 45 metres. Here's Tommy Dunn. One player always expected to give Tipperary plenty of leadership and a bit of inspiration as well. That's a smashing strike. It's his second point of the match. One from a free, now one from play. This is the player who scored 8 points in the semi-final against Limerick. 7 of them were frees, one was a 65. David Kennedy overreaching for that one. Good anticipation by Paul Ormond. Well, the crowd has swelled quite a lot since the start of the match, and it looks to me like it's well above 15,000 at this stage. Paul Hardiman inside towards Rory Gantley, playing it back here to the man coming up and support his brother Alan Kearns. Away first time by Philip Marr. Eamon Corcoran delivering it way down into the inside forward line. Again, a bit of holding over there, and the referee says it's got to be a free to Tipperary. Vinnie Marr discarding the green helmet on a humid afternoon. So once again, it's going to be the Tipperary skipper to hit this one and replicate what Rory Gantley did just moments ago for Galway. He's on 3 points from free so far. That one has gone wide. In fact, just to correct that, he's on 2 points so far. John Carroll watching this one. They're all trying to get into the flight path of that ball coming through. This is Brian O'Mara, anxious to cement a place for himself in the championship team, looking for a league medal this afternoon. Lovely ball from Maguire, back in here beautifully, and another great shot. This time it's by Mark O'Leary. It's got over the bar, it's his second, and he could very easily indeed have been in for Tipperary's second goal. It was a lovely movement. The pass here by Maguire, quick thinking, quick movement. Great balance and control by Mark O'Leary once again, and it just fired up and over Michael Crimmon's crossbar. Here's David Tierney. Back to Mark Kearns. Inside, but it bounces on this very lively sod this afternoon past Ollie Canning. Brendan Cummins with the clearance. And the Galway man carried it out over the sideline, or so it seemed. Well, the linesman much nearer to us decided that it last touched the tip man. Finbar Gantley. Michael Ryan trying to keep that ball away from Ollie Canning. Linesman on this near side has been pretty busy. There's Michael Ryan. Perfect connection. Touchdown by Kearns. As far as Finbar Gantley. Over towards Fergal Healy. He's been kept a bit quieter now following an explosive start to this match. Tierney. Trying to go by Paul Ormond. Succeeding. The hand pass back towards Healy. Did we say he was quiet? Here he comes again. He's put it over. And he's now got 3 points from play. Turning in a very fine performance indeed at top of the left. This was David Tierney. Lovely hand pass back into Fergal Healy, and he really is causing Liam Sheedy nightmares. Other cornerback there, the Galway cornerback Vinnie Marr, also having his difficulties this afternoon. It's a free in for Tipperary. Tommy Dunn so far, 1 successful free from 2. By comparison, Rory Gantley of Galway has 3 from 3. That's beautifully struck. So now he is on 3 points, and it's 1-6 for Tip. Galway 8 points. They're ahead by 2. Joe Rabbit. Beautiful inside. Back from Fahy. Kearns coming through, and that's another free in, and Mark Kearns has gone down there under the pressure of that free. So Tipperary 1-6, 9 points, Galway 8. Tip with a chance then to go 2 points ahead here. That's very well converted indeed. Once again, it's Rory Gantley for Galway. He's got 4 points from frees. So now it's level once again. Declan Ryan, that's a good catch. Lovely ball ahead here towards Tommy Dunn. Runs away from him. Finbar Gantley back there. Jerry Maguire doing a balancing act on the stick, trying to get it forward. Back there is Liam Hodgins. Declan Ryan again involved in the action. Back to Maguire. Cross towards Paul Shelley, who was flailing at that one somewhat. This is Brian O'Mara, challenged by Alan Kearns. Feeney getting the stick to this one. Coming away is Cathal Moore. Finbar Gantley. There's Ollie Fahy, and that's gone over the bar. Second point for Ollie Fahy. So Galway lead by a point. And there are about 10 minutes to go to half-time.
Evan? Okay.
Again, it's up there towards Declan Ryan. Cathal Moore doing his level best to make sure he doesn't get his hand up for this one. David Kennedy trying to keep it away, likewise for the other centre forward, Mark Kearns. Sideline ball to Galway. Great take by Joe Rabbit. Hand passed ahead there towards David Tierney, but he was never likely to get that one with Paul Ormond there, perfectly positioned. This time Vinnie Marr gets the decision his way. Vinnie Marr is calling out Michael Cribbins to take this. It was for the foul by Paddy O'Brien on Vinnie Marr. So with the big wide boss on the hurley, he gets an awful lot of distance into it, down towards Mark Kearns. Outside here towards Tierney. Belts it for all his worth and puts it over the crossbar. It was worth a go. His first point. He's also made scores, and Galway, as you see, have a lead of 2 points. Hardyman is dispossessed. There's Paddy O'Brien, but that's gone well to the right. Bounces off the stick of David Kennedy. Mark Kearns is in after it. Liam Sheedy here. Driven away on his right-hand side. Comes back towards Rory Gantley. Once again, it's Carroll coming forward for Tipperary. Now Mark O'Leary towards Paul Shelley. Good intervention, however, by Rory Gantley. The clearance is by Liam Hodgins. Paul Hardyman. Oh, into the unmarked David Tierney, who drifted across to the right-hand side, but the referee didn't allow him the leeway to go forward. Instead, he is calling aside Paul Ormond for a quick little chat. So it's looking like a yellow card for Paul Ormond. Just when Galway would have felt that they were in with a really good scoring chance.
There's a lot of indiscipline, Ger, in the Tipperary backline. If this goes over, it's the 5th point from frees, and that's a lot to concede. And together with that, they're having difficulties with the full forward line for sure. Ollie Fahy and Fergal Healy are certainly causing trouble inside. So it doesn't look terribly well for Tipperary at the moment.
It's Rory Gantley who hopes to profit from this. 4 converted frees so far, right in front of the posts. Easy enough by his standards. Galway increased their lead. They now have a 3-point advantage. That's a very fine catch by the centre half back Cathal Moore, but he's dispossessed. Doesn't come good for Tipperary so far. Tommy Dunn persisting, however. Hodgins chases after him, and indiscipline at the other end right now as the number 12 of Tipperary is hauled down. They'll be hoping to see him back on his feet fairly quickly. He, of course, is the free taker, Tommy Dunn. So a free from 20 metres out. Tip, whose goal arrived after 11 minutes. Paul Shelley managed to get inside the cover of Brian Feeney. Pretty simple free here, presented to the Tipperary captain. Dunn from Toomevara has now scored 4 points. So it's a 2-point game, still Galway leading. Oh, what a catch by Declan Ryan, magnificent, and then opting to kick it in. Moore caught. Shoulder wasn't correctly affected. Declan Ryan was in with his shoulder, but he didn't meet the shoulder of Cathal Moore.
Another very soft free, Gerard. You know, absolutely no need for it.
John Carroll. Pressure back on the Galway backs. Here's Paul Shelley. Again, they use the hand pass to Declan Ryan, but he's lost it to Cathal Moore. That's quite a duel. Liam Hodgins here. Again, the hand pass ahead, and he was struck late, and the referee quite correctly going in, and he's going to have words with Declan Ryan for that, for a chopped down foul. So it's got to be another card. That's 2 Tipperary players now who've had, well, was there a booking? There wasn't a booking, he just took his number, I think. It's a warning for Declan Ryan. Next offence would be a yellow card. Finbar Gantley's free, cross towards David Tierney. Coming out to help him there is Fergal Healy. Driven inside to the inside forward line. Rabbit's moved in there, trying to steal away there from the cover of Eamon Corcoran, but he's put it wide under pressure. 3 minutes to go to half-time or thereabouts. Matty Murphy, his side, leading, as you can see, by 12 points to 1-7. That's a 2-point advantage. Added to there by Paddy O'Brien, inside towards Maguire. They're still there with an opportunity, and Mark O'Leary has kicked it over the bar. He's got 3 points in the match. So now the gap reduced to just 1 point. Rabbit Trump coming to try and collect this Galway puck out. Instead it's Mark Kerins. Cross towards Ollie Fahy. Fahy from Gort. Great hurling area in South County Galway. Blocked down by Philip Marr. He's lost his stick. He's been held back, and it's a free out for Tipperary. Philip Marr has certainly been earning a lot of rave reviews from the Tipperary hurling public this season. Paul Hardiman trying to get Mark O'Leary out of his way. This time it's Tommy Dunn, assisted there by Paul Ormond. A match being viewed by an official attendance of 15,553. And you never know, you might need the old factor 5 yet.
There's not for brief out there.
There's Mark Kerins. But he's put it wide with just about a little over a minute to go to half-time. Overall, Liam, what have you made of it so far?
Well, really, the game hasn't really caught fire as of yet, but a little bit indisciplined by Tipperary, and some nice hurling by the Galway inside forwards.
Here comes Paul Shelley. And the goal scorer has added a point to his own individual tally. And it's now 12 points to 1-9, and the teams are level. And there's Tipperary's substitute, Donncha Fahy, has just come in. Is he going into cornerback where he ordinarily plays? He wasn't listed. It's Liam Sheedy who's been called off by the management as it heats up a little bit here. They were very, very worried, I think, on the line about the form of Fergal Healy in particular, and how Liam Sheedy was unable to cope with him. So he's off. He didn't even get to make it to the half-time break, and we're only seconds away from that at this stage. David Kennedy. Gantley here. Rory Gantley straight at Michael Ryan. Well, I suppose that substitution serves a marker for the rest of the team. You've got to really play to your optimum to stay in the first 15. This is Mark O'Leary. 3 points so far. Inside towards Shelley. A goal and a point. Blocked down here by Brian Feeney. Swept away by Alan Kearns. Stopped by the other number 8, who is John Carroll. Here comes Paul Ormond. Each side looking for the final score of this first half. And even though he hasn't got a stick, Paddy O'Brien is still threatening. Inside towards Shelley. Slipping at the most inappropriate moment. They breathe down his neck. Reinforcements arriving from the half-forward line. Paul Hardiman. And as he goes to ground, the referee whistles the end of the first half. The Church in General National Hurling League final. And the sides are going in level. Paul Shelley got the goal after 11 minutes. A slip by Brian Feeney allowing him into the clear to get the only goal of the match so far. And here in Limerick, it's Galway 12 points, Tipperary 1-9. Teams level in the 71st ever National Hurling League final. More action coming up in just a moment. Okay, as usual, we start with a puck out. It may be the last time this will be happening. We're coming into the championship. And it's Brendan Cummins who gets the second half underway. The teams are level here in Limerick as that's batted down by Finbar Gantley.